How's it going, YouTube? I just purchased the Ford Mark IV race car. I think this is, I don't know if it's still considered a GT40. Let's take a quick look in the shop and see. This is found in Legendary Motors. It is 6.75 million right now. And it's about to go away, so if you want it, you want to do that tonight. So let's see, Mark IV, 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if it's still considered the GT40. That's what I'm really looking for. Different chassis, so probably not. But yeah, a lot of these, especially in the European world, they'll talk about the different generations as like Mark I, Mark II, Mark III, and this will be Mark IV. So it's a later generation of Ford's racing development, where they started with the GT40, and I guess this one's just called the Mark IV. So I bought this car. It's something you can buy a supercharger, an intercooler for. I did put on the the rigidity, the increase for the chassis, because that actually took away performance points. But it's right at 700 right from purchase. I am going to buy tires for it. And I'll eventually buy the other parts as well. But this is the only thing that I've bought on this car at this point, other than what you just saw. It comes with hard racing tires, and that's what I'm leaving on there. I really wanted to buy the wets and intermediates because it has a good chance of raining here. But I increased the rigidity. I don't know what this thing will end up with if you throw on the supercharger in terms of performance points, but it'll kick it out of this race for sure. So you got supercharger, either the low or high, I don't know what they call it, higher performance or lower performance. I haven't done anything to the setup because I wanted to see this thing in its pure form. It seems to want to push a little bit, but that's, 20 seconds in. You can also buy the different transmission upgrades, either manual or the full racing. So right now I'm just running with the factory transmission. You can kind of see it's a little slower to shift. Not too bad. The fully adjustable manual may be a slower shifting transmission. Oh, it's a 4-speed. I didn't expect that. I'm guessing you at least get one more gear when you purchase the transmission, but and I'm sure you can use the clutch. Yep. Clutch is an option. This car already seems plenty fast. I'm going back to paddles. Oh, Lord. Quick look around. Not much to see, it's a race car. So this is part of that generation, after Ken Miles, where Ford was dominating Le Mans. And Ferrari eventually just backed out of it altogether, and I don't think they've really been back since. Oh, I did add on the brake balance controller as well, so that's part of what I put on this car. But that doesn't change the performance points. It allows you to kind of, with the brake performance or the brake balance controller, basically you kind of keep an eye on how your tires are wearing. Like for example, we can see right now that my rears are already taking more of a beating than the fronts. So you can kind of start shifting the braking towards the front to balance that out a little bit. And now when you're doing this, it's not a whole lot of change in the car. You might be messing with like 5% overall in your braking performance. It's not like you're, 100% front brakes or 100% rear brakes. It doesn't work that way. Cars are, by default, going to use mostly front braking because everything shifts forward as you hit those brakes. If you look at your personal car, you'll notice the brakes in the back are a lot smaller than the brakes in the front, and that's just because that's the way they naturally work. Most of your braking potential comes in the front. If you had it 50-50, like actual 50-50, the back end would lock up every single time. Because you're lifting off, the weight from the back as you are slowing the car. So we're already way in first, and I wasn't even paying attention. So this car is definitely fine in terms of racing potential for this track. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and lean it out. We've used half our fuel already. And that way we can kind of stretch this out and stay out here a little bit longer. Yeah, it feels pretty well balanced. I mean, I can't complain about it. It's a nice car. It's almost $7 million, so you're not going to be running this thing early game. This is going to be after you've already been grinding. I tend to take Tokyo as like a daily commute. It just keeps me in the mindset that that's, we drive to work every day, and most of the time that takes more than 30 minutes. So driving one of these on a daily basis, it's a grind, but it's not, to me, it's not that big of a deal. I like racing anyway. That's why I have the game. That's why I have the rig. You shouldn't be out here, doing this type of thing if you're not interested in racing. But once you get to the point where you can buy this car, it's a pretty good buy. I mean, it's capable in factory form. So thinking in terms of like 1.5 million per hour with these longer races, Tokyo and this race. I wasn't paying attention to the rain either. We're okay right now. It'll take what? So you get 1.5 in an hour, 3 million in 2 hours, 4.5 in 3 hours, 6 in 4 hours. So 4.5 hours of driving would get you this car. And you'd have money left over. I mean, that's because there's rounding error in there. It's kind of weird to think of it in that way, but yeah, that's the budget, 4.5 hours. There's not a whole lot of water on the track yet, but I haven't noticed any water in terms of changing the driving characteristics yet, so. I believe we have to pit this lap. Find out more here as we come up towards pit lane. Not really convinced I should be using rain tires on this thing at this point. There's something to keep in mind, even with oh, I'm getting a call, so I'm actually going to pause the race and let you guys go, because now it's just a matter of finishing the race. But thank you guys, and have a great evening.